Maverick Indicators here. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having the best day ever. So normally I jump on here every single, Saturday or Sunday, and I give you a full recap of the week and show you how the Maverick Indicators could have totally kept you on the right side of the tracks. Today we have a super slam day. We're trying to get out this indicator that you guys all know about for NinjaTrader. All our indicators are available on NinjaTrader and TradingView. But you guys know in about 2 to 3 days, we're going to be releasing a free indicator to you guys that already own the Maverick radar. So we're racing towards that. So we got a busy stack day. So what I'd like to do today is cover Monday and show you how the Maverick indicators could have kept you on the right side of the tracks. And then tomorrow, I'll jump back on here and we'll look at a few more days from this past week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make $750. $750 off the market open. And then, like I said, I'll pop back on here tomorrow, try and do at least, 2 more days from this past week, show you how the Maverick indicators could have kept you on the right side of the tracks. And we will go for that 750 off the open. So let me give you the lay of the land of our indicators, and then I'll go through what are we going to trade and how are we going to make that 750 bucks. All right, so first things first, if you're unfamiliar with our indicators, let me walk you through, and really we're going to be leaning on this guy down here. And this is the Maverick radar. Essentially, and I'll come back to it, I'll explain it, but essentially what it's doing is it's giving you a grade for your setup. Okay, so you either have no grade, which means no setup. You have a B grade, which means either a setup is about to happen or it's cooling off, right? And then you have an A plus grade, all right? It'll just say A grade, but I always call it an A plus grade. We thought it would be a little sloppy if it said A plus arrow, right? So, or you have an A plus grade. So how cool is it if you had, I literally call this the ultimate trading assistant. If you had essentially a trading assistant in your lower right corner or left corner, you can put this anywhere on your chart, and it's just telling you a grade for the setup that you may be about to get into. And so if you want to wait for an A plus grade on the setup, you just wait for an A plus grade. Of course, you got to know basic price action, but man, this thing is the game changer. Okay, and those of you who own it, you already know what I'm talking about. So let me walk you through quickly our indicators, and then I'll give you how we're going to make this 750 bucks per day off the open, and kind of the rules, and then we'll look at Monday. And then again, tomorrow I'll jump back on here and we will look at the rest of the week. Okay, so first things first, Maverick AI Pro. It is coloring your candles to the data, not to price and direction. So right now, most likely you are trading with red and green candles, price and direction. Well, what the Maverick AI Pro is doing is it's looking at this pretty darn complex formula to understand the severity, the energy, the momentum, the depth, just all sorts of things. A lot of things, actually, to understand the severity of the direction, meaning this. Bright green is your strongest upside candle. This is your strongest buying data candle. Bright green. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Gray is indecision or reversal. Red is your second strongest downside candle, and hot pink is your strongest downside candle. We have a saying here at Maverick Indicators: if you see pink, it will most likely sink. And look at this thing just come sinking down. All right, so that is the first thing. We want to see our candle color. Think of it like a heat map. Bright green, oh man, it might just fly off your screen. Hot pink, it most likely will sink, all right? Second piece is it's coloring your background. This is the Maverick Bear Bull. And when the bears are in control, you're going to get a red background. When the bulls are in control, you're going to get a green background. Look at these awesome signals here. Look at all these buy signals yelling at you to get into this thing. Look at these sell signals. Just pretty awesome, okay? Pretty awesome. Maverick Trender. When this line is pegged to the top and it can't go any further, we call these flat tops. When this line is pegged to the top and it can't go any further, and by the way, this is like the minutes going into market open, so you're going to get some chop. But if you come back here where it was kind of dropping before we got into that final 30 minutes before market open and everybody kind of holds their breath, you see the Maverick Trender just keeps getting pegged to the top. Strength and momentum. This indicator has to be at the top or has to be at the bottom. There's no in between. There's no in between. And we designed it that way because we wanted less fake outs than any other line indicator out there. All right. And the other cool thing is it gives you a trend label. So right now, going about 30 seconds before market opens, this is identifying an uptrend. So, and you can make this label as big as you want. So we're taking out the guesswork, right? Maverick Multi-X, all five traders, T1 through T5, think of these as traders. They're algorithms, but think of these as traders. And they're voting every single tick across 6 time frames. You can make these time frames whatever you want. You can actually add a 7th time frame to this. And again, all our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView. And imagine if you were in the room with 5 other traders that all had a completely different style, and they are all voting on 6 time frames. So, right now, going into market open, Trader 1 through Trader 5, who all have a completely different style, they're all agreeing, yes, we are bullish on the 1 minute chart. They are all agreeing, yes, we are bullish on the 2 minute. They are almost all agreeing, except for Trader 5, that they are bullish on the 3 minute. Now, obviously, they're all going to be bearish on the 10 minute and 15 because you've been just coming down this whole time right here, okay? And then finally, the Maverick Radar. What the Maverick Radar is doing, by the way, all these arrows are just confidence arrows. They're just letting you know that you're moving in the right direction if you took a trade. What the Maverick Radar is doing is it's grading each one of these elements I just showed you. Oh, by the way, I totally skipped one of the coolest ones, which is the Maverick Guide. This blue line, we like to go long when price is above it. We like to go short when price is below it, okay? Long when price is above it, short when price is below it, okay? All right, so the Maverick Radar is going through the entire checklist of all our indicators to decide, do we have no setup? Do we have a B setup, like get ready, here we go? Or do we have an A+ setup? And when you do get an A+ setup, you get this big alert that kind of pops up, which is really cool. So we're going to lean on the Maverick Radar to give us a good setup, to give us an A+ setup, and then we'll take the trade. Final thing I'll tell you before I go over a couple other things that we're going to try and make $750 right off the open is I'm on a 30-second chart. Now, a lot of times I trade on the 1 minute or the 5 minute, and you can use anything. If you're a swing trader, you can use our indicators. If you use 4-hour charts, yes, you can use our indicators, all that stuff. This is just like me and my trading. So a lot of times you'll see me trade on the 1 minute or the 5 minute, sometimes the 2 minute, and tick charts and different things like that. Well, I was going to do a 1 minute candle here, but what I realized was as I go through, I'm just going to be clicking bar by bar to show you in replay mode. That way for time purposes, so we don't all have to, watch the whole market open. This would be like a, an extra hour added to the video. So I'm going to go bar by bar, but the thing about that is that will only allow me to enter the trade at the end of the bar, which isn't realistic. Like, let's say this is the candle I wanted to get into. It's not, but I'm just saying, I would only have in replay mode clicking through, I would only have the opportunity to get into the trade right up here, but we might get our A+ setup alert like in the middle of this candle, you know what I mean? Because it's so long that it's like, okay. So what I did was I just split the difference. I set it up for a 30-second chart instead of a 1 minute chart, so I'd have a chance to get into the trade halfway through a 1 minute chart like real life. And then the only other thing I want to tell you before I go through the quick rules on how we're going to make $750, my folks that already own the Maverick Radar and our indicators, I am using the 1 minute default setting. So if you go into your Maverick AI Pro, you just click the 1 minute box. So I'm using those, and I set the same thing to my radar, except I'm monitoring the 30-second chart because we're on the 30-second chart. Okay, so so there you go. So there will be somebody in the comments that say, what are your settings? Because they didn't watch the whole video, but anyway, I'm sure that'll happen because that's YouTube. All right, cool. All right, so let me show you guys the rules of engagement on how we're gonna make $750. All right, let's dig in. Weekly recap. So here are the rules of engagement. We're gonna be trading ES. We're going to use 2 contracts. The time frame is just market open, but you guys know I don't take a trade the first couple of minutes or a minute or two of market open. That's just gambling. We're going to do a take profit of $750. We're going to look to make $750. Our stop loss is going to be $750. Now, not normally how profitable traders trade, right? Because you have a couple bad days and it's going to wipe you out, and you want small risk and high reward. The reason I'm doing a 1-to-1 risk to reward is I'm kind of handicapping myself for the week, okay? Because if I lose 3 of the days, it's not a profitable week. I gotta win at least 3 of the days this week to have a profitable week, right? Does that make sense? Because I'll give it all back and then some. So I like to find an element in these videos when we do a recap to kind of tie one arm behind our back and kind of take away the haters a little bit. So what I'm going to go through is I'm going to go through Monday, this past Monday, and then tomorrow, like I said, I'll jump back on here. We'll look at a couple more days and show you how you could have crushed it with our indicators. All right, so let's jump in here. We're at market open. We have a B setup to the upside with 30 seconds to go before market open, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna go candle by candle. So here we go, market opens. Look at that wick. This is exactly why I wouldn't take a short. This would have been a red candle. How many folks would have piled in here right at market open and just got smoked, right? Just got smoked. By the way, bright green candles is your strongest upside candle. So some of you guys that are new to our indicators say, wait, that candle was going down. Why was it bright green? Because the data told us that there is upside data, like strong, the strongest buying data. So even though this candle, and by the way, keep in mind, these are 30-second candles, short time frame. ES doesn't move that fast, but a lot of folks would have gotten into this trade on a red candle, gotten smoked, but we knew, nope, sit on your hands. Even if we were going to take this trade or thinking about it, we knew there's no downside trade here. Yes, you had a red background because the bears took over for one candle, but we have bright green candles. So we're sitting on our hands. We would never take a short on a bright green candle, and we have a B setup, okay? All right, cool. So boom, we come up, still a B setup. Look at confidence arrow, confidence arrow. Price is now what? Above the blue line. We like to go short when price is below the blue line, long when price is above it. Long when price is above it, short when price is below it. Okay, so we finally broke in and closed above the blue line. Bright green candles, Maverick trender pegged to the top. All 5 traders voting bullish across 6 time frames. They all have a completely different trading style, and they're all agreeing. All right, so here we go. We got a buy signal. We got a buy signal. Still a B setup, though. We're going to stick to our rules here. All right, so now we have an A plus setup to the upside right here. A plus setup to the upside. So I'm going to buy. Here we go. We're in. We are in. We're taking our A plus setup. Here we go. Okay. Nice push up. Next candle, bright green. Again, we did not get faked out on this bright green candle that was heading down. The rest of the world had a red candle, not us. We had bright green candle. We knew the data was very, very strong to the upside. Okay. Boom, $700. We're trying to make $750. We still have our A plus setup. Okay. Oh, we're coming down. We lost a little. We're at 500. Beautiful. Oh, okay. There you go. $1,200. Confidence arrow, confidence arrow, confidence arrow. A plus setup. Maverick trender pegged to the top this entire time. All 5 traders voting bullish across 6 time frames. But even if I didn't want to look at this, even if I didn't look down at this, even if I didn't see my green background and my bright green candles and a buy signal and that we're above the Maverick guide, look, It goes through the entire checklist for you and tells you when you get an A plus setup. How stinking beautiful is that? And boom, there's your set with, I don't think we took much drawdown at all. There is your 750 bucks, right? Well, it's actually 1,200 bucks, but you get my point. So that's beautiful. So listen, if you want edge in the market, if you want clear charts, I truly mean clear, like this is clear as day. Oh my gosh, like it doesn't, I don't know if it gets any clearer than this, right? Even this one first candle that we would have never traded because it's the first, right at the bell. How many folks just went, red candle, I'm jumping in, and then they got smoked? You had a bright green candle, flew up to the upside, tons of confidence arrows, all 5 traders in the room with you, guiding you through that. Maverick trender pegged, and then we waited for that A plus setup. So listen, and then boom, the results speak for itself. I can't rewrite history there. If you want edge in the market, if you want clear vision, again, anyone, we're getting ready to release the Maverick Radar on NinjaTrader as well. All our indicators are available on TradingView and NinjaTrader. The radar is about to get released on NinjaTrader as well. Anyone that owns it right now will get it also for NinjaTrader for free. All right. So listen, not financial advice. Do your own research. We know there's no guarantees in the market, but boy, do we sure do love these tools. Okay. All right. So come check us out. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I will try and jump back on here tomorrow and we'll do a few more days and I will just show you how these Maverick indicators can keep you on the right side of the tracks. We'll look at a few more days from this past week. All right, so come check us out, MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.